Wholeness. Welcome to my space, my place. This is Rashida Silvertree here. Just poured some nice hot ginger tea, ginger root tea actually. So I take fresh ginger root, chop it up, put it in some boiling hot water for a while, and then I sometimes I like to add cayenne pepper, lemon juice, or like chop up some lemon and put it in there, honey, and that's about it. But this is just ginger. That time of the month is coming, and I'm trying, and ginger root's perfect for that. So I'm gonna just set that up here and let it cool down a little bit. Ooh, yeah, it's hot. Okay. So wisdom. All wise is the owl who can see in the dark. All wise is the owl who can see in the dark. Wisdom. Wisdom. The wizard of the dome. What is dome? Dominatrix, dominant, domino, power, dominance, power, control, superior. And what is whiz? Whiz, wise, 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 whiz, wizard. What is a wizard? A wizard is a magi. A wizard is someone who knows himself or herself or themselves. They know their true nature. They are a master of the self. Thus, they can be of service and teach others. So when you are a wizard of the self, you're superior. So wisdom, superior knowledge. Someone who can, once they've mastered themselves through life experiences, they can apply the knowledge gained. Applied knowledge is wisdom. So all wise is the owl who can see in the dark. Owls are nocturnal and they sleep usually in deep meditation during the day. Owls are very beautiful and very haunting. I find that they can be quite triggering for people because of their eyes. Their eyes are extremely hypnotic, and they put you in a trance of control. And they're a predator as well. Eyes in front hunt, eyes on the side hide. And they have very big, powerful claws, and they're quiet, usually, until they, who are you? Who? That question, who, when you say who is it? Who are you? Who is it? Who are you? That who question, it's forcing you to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge what is there. Acknowledge what is present. It has no time for, the masks or anything. Like, who are you? Who is it? You're forcing someone to announce their intention, to announce their presence. And when you're able to see in the dark, when the lights go out, when you're able to see in the dark, you have an advantage. I used to be, when I was a child, very afraid of the dark at night, or just creepy dark places and corners and spaces. And it took me a long time to embrace the night. Like Bane in Batman, that scene, I embrace the night. He's like, I am the night. Right? That scene always stuck with me. Anyway. Nocturnal creatures are, when you study the spirit medicine of nocturnal creatures, it could be quite insightful. A lot of the time, to ignorant folks out there, they equate spiders and bats and owls, and they attach it to wizardry and magic and witches and warlocks and the dark and evil. That's a lack of wisdom and ignorance. When you're able to see in the dark, you're able to see in the night within yourself. When I was a child, I was very much afraid of the dark because I thought there were spooky things that came to life there, which is true. Things that exist in shadow, that avoid the light, become alive in the dark. They hide, but they move in the night space. I used to keep the closet light on all the time. I used to keep my glasses on, well, because I love reading before going to bed. I would read the dictionary, I would read books, I would read my mom's spiritual adult books that I probably had no business reading because I didn't understand the concept of anything, but I just love books. And so I would read and read and read, and then my glasses would be all crooked and bent out of shape, and my mom would come in every night. It was a ritual for her. Sorry, Mom. Every night she'd come in my room, Naja, take off your glasses. It got to the point she stopped asking me to take off my glasses, and I would just feel her hands, just take them off. Fold my glasses, put them on the bookshelf, and then she'd flick off the light. And when she flicked off that light, I'd make sure I cover my head with the blanket. So, all wise is the owl who can see in the night. We must not be afraid to explore the night within ourselves. What's so disheartening, I find, in fragmented consciousness of humanity, we can create horror movies, horror flicks, that actually mirror the night within ourselves. We can sit and watch slasher movies like Jason, Michael, Halloween, Hills Have Eyes, the list goes on, The Devil's Rejects, like the list goes on and on and on and on, or World War Z, or zombie movies, or Walking Dead. We can watch these creative manifestations of the night that we avoid. We can't sit and close our eyes and enter the shadow and enter into our own night consciousness. But we can watch the manifestation of our ideas, our demonic ideas, through a screen and become scared of our own creation. I mentioned the word black magic in one of my videos before, and I always thought, oh, it's just somebody who's, Satanist and who's completely void of God and love and light, and they wear all black, and, they make blood sacrifices, all of it. Like, I have like a preconceived notion of what black magic was. It was a woman who wore a black pointy hat, and she'd go, ee, waving her wand at you. And after some real life experience, that's not what it is. I mentioned before in a video where on consciousness and artificial intelligence, where there's two forms of black magic. You have one sect that they're conscious of doing evil deeds and they thrive off of it. They get excited about doing really bad things to others. And then there's a group of people who are ignorant and they're unaware that they're actually manifesting a demonic version of themselves. They actually manifest their own demon based off of their frequency, vibration, unhealed trauma, the darkness within their own consciousness. And they're completely blind to it. And if we could see our shadow, dark parts of our consciousness manifested in front of our eyes, we would scream in horror. No amount of horror films for entertainment would be able to touch that type of experience. Ever. But because the veil is thick, and because most of us tend not to, or have a need really, or a call, like some of us actually can see through the veil. Okay? Some of us can. And a lot of the time when you label it an angelic experience or a demonic experience, and the demonic experience, you label it as a spiritual attack, which is just your own, it's just your own consciousness, shadow consciousness being mirrored back to you. That's awakening. It's just another fragmented version of yourself that you are meeting. Nothing's out there to get you. It's just you waking up to you. Yet you can go and sit in entertainment or watch violent films or watch the daily news of people being blown up in Ukraine, Russia, Palestine, Israel, or, and not even by an eyelash. But if you began to see the fragmented parts of your own consciousness that reside in the dark, you would scream and you would go run into your nearest mental health facility, and you take antipsychotic drugs to numb what you're seeing, or you smoke your joint, or you drink your alcohol, or you eat your fast food, or you take psychedelics to escape. We all have some form of escapism from the dark. The dark wants to know us. It is ourselves. So when you become the owl, because I believe in animal medicine, shamanism, okay? No, I do not worship animals, okay? All right? I don't do that, okay? I believe in, but I believe in shamanism in a way where you can learn from the animal spirit. Human beings are the only species on the planet where we have to pay to be here. Gorillas don't have to pay to exist. Zebras don't have to pay money to go frolic in the African tundra. We do. Anyway, back to the subject. The owl's able to step in the night and to hunt, to become the predator, to become the hunter. And it hunts down the prey. It hunts down fragmented parts of itself. Look, I know, follow me, this is metaphysical, okay? It's just a different way of looking at things. I'm using the owl as a metaphor, okay? The medicine of the owl can teach you many things. So become the hunter. When you make that choice, when you're in your spiritual practice, you want to gain inner knowledge, you must become the hunter and to face the prey. Because the prey can look scary, but it's just broken parts of yourself. When you're doing deeper inner work, I would advise try your best to avoid dark images, dark movies, really evil like that, because horror flicks are portals that open up that lower nature in your consciousness. And when you don't do any work on your lower nature, then all of a sudden you start to do work on your lower nature, you're gonna get ready to see a lot of stuff when you start doing spiritual work on you. Mm. Oh, that hits. Ginger is fire. Okay. What else do I need to share here? See, owls cannot keep their eyes closed at night because then they wouldn't eat. They become starved. Right? That's how they hunt. So you must keep your eyes open no matter what you see. And the prey is just the fragmented parts of yourself that you must digest and integrate back into wholeness, into oneness within you. How does this all fit into wisdom? Applied knowledge, when you begin to know yourself, you begin to apply the knowledge of self in a way where you know when to share the knowledge, you know when to keep the knowledge to yourself. That's wisdom. Applied knowledge is wisdom, and we live in the age of information. You have a lot of people knowing a lot of things, but they do not apply it to their life. They do not apply it in their household. They do not apply it in their day-to-day life, but they know a lot though. Hey, did you know? Hey, did you hear? Hey, did you see? Hey, did you know? Did you hear? Did you see? Hey, did you know? Did you hear? Did you see this? Did you see that? So much information, but no application. That's not wisdom. That's just an accumulation of useless knowledge. It's almost like the old teaching style of teaching information to kids and then having them regurgitate it back to you. That old system, I hope, entering back into the classroom now, I hope that's dying. I hope it dies out. It's a horrible way to teach kids. All right, here are the facts. Write down the facts. Copy them down on your notes. Okay, the test will be Friday. Make sure that you say your notes. Okay, and they get the test, and then it's like if you have to regurgitate exactly what was given to you, and then you get an A+ just because you memorized the facts that were given to you. You didn't apply the facts, you didn't apply the knowledge, you didn't use critical thinking or critical analysis for all the facts that you learned. No, you just piled it inside your mind, memorized it, and then you regurgitated it back on a sheet of paper or in a computer or circling little dots, and boom, there you go, you get an A+. Oh, and you have a high GPA, 4.0, because you did that in every other class for 8 years of your life. 8-10 years of your life. Oh, and now you get to go and learn a degree of knowledge. That's why they call it master's degree. It's just an extension of the knowledge that you've accumulated all those years in undergrad and in primary, secondary school. It's only a degree of knowledge. Oh, degree. I got my degree. And they make it a big deal. 4-year degree. I'm the first one in my generation. Good job. It's a lot of effort. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of effort to go to college, to go to school, to accumulate all this knowledge. It really, it shows that you, number one, are committed, that you are determined, you have tenacity, that you can take a lot of criticism, because in school, you're criticized for everything. How you say, how you dress, how you speak, how you present yourself, how you express yourself, all of who you are, before you even get to know yourself, is broken down and shaped and molded so that you can fit the political and governmental agenda. So you can work for government and push their program. So you're a perfect little citizen. Just a perfect little, go out there, you taxpayer, show us what you can do after your degree and master's degree and doctorates. I don't mean to be sarcastic, and I don't look down on education at all. But I sincerely hope that education will, I feel like a lot of things are going through a huge evolution right now because of technology. So, but critical thought and critical thinking are crucial. And as an empath and spiritualist and someone who studies esoterica, you gotta be able to be critical, to think critically. You can't just base everything off of feeling. But let's wrap this up really nicely, though. Wisdom cannot be learned overnight. It takes time and many failures and disappointments. The wisest people I've ever met made many, many mistakes. The most knowledgeable ones are very wise. And the most wise usually aren't very knowledgeable. But I would choose both, actually, because both can be very useful. You want to be around people who are knowledgeable, and you want to be around people who are wise. That's why they say that older people are elders, You should have somebody that's at least 2 to 3 decades older than you are. I'm 35, so it would behoove me to be, to talk to somebody who's, 76? Between the ages of like 60s, late 60s, early 70s. Like it would be beneficial for, like, let's say for a mentor, for someone who's 12 years old to talk to somebody who's 36, right? Or someone who's 24 talk to somebody who's 58 or 48. Knowledgeable people are very fact-based and they're resourceful. But a lot of the time I find that they can they don't have enough experience underneath their belt. So knowledgeable people will talk out of their ass, really. Wise people don't talk as much, and they wait for you to come around. That I do know. Wise people they don't go out looking for people to talk to. They just wait. You know how many wise people women and men I've come across? And they're like, I waited for you to come around, or I waited, it wasn't the right time to talk. You'll know. Because they know, they lived. No, I waited until you were ready. I didn't think you were ready, so I kept back. When a wise person is running to you, run away. Run the other way, okay? They're not that wise. Run. There's a problem with that. Wise people, they hang about. They're quiet. They observe. In order to get anything out of them, they're kind of like the Cheshire Cat, but less creepy. From Alice in Wonderland, they're less creepy. They just kind of like hang around, like, what's up? You know, like they're very, but the things that they share, be around wise owls, okay? The things that they share with you are useful and they help you because there are a lot of phony owls out there that claim that they are wise. Or no, it's usually not claimed, but they come off that way. And when you notice that there's a character flaw in an owl, it's you learned what you needed to learn from them and you need to move on. That could be the hardest lesson of all, is when to walk away from a teacher or a mentor or a guide. So that is the message today. Let me know what you think about that. May this message find you well and whole. Remember to expand your consciousness, evolve your human being, okay? And embrace supreme loving guidance, whether that is Christ or Jesus Christ, Allah, Yahweh, Shiva, Shakti, Brahman, Jehovah, whatever that guidance is, may it be from supreme love. Nothing more, nothing less than that. Take care, and I'll see you soon.